Yay, here we are for another get together with Nigel from Devil's Playground 2.
Hi
And
guys.
I screwed up the plan because I have to go out of town tomorrow. So you'll see Nigel and Harry by themselves then in another video. He'll drop his bombshells then. But we're kind of waiting on Dylan. His channel's called Question, I believe. And we're waiting on him to pop on here. I think Kim is busy too. So I'd really love for you to, where I think this might be on Devil's Playground channel, but please like and subscribe on their channel if you haven't already. Come over to my channel, like and subscribe. And when Dylan gets on here, hopefully we'll have a link in the show notes to go to his channel. He's just starting out, I think. Is that right, Nigel? He's just
Yes,
getting started.
yeah, I invited him on because he's new, he's only a young guy, right? This dude's like 18 years old. And he's got a
Wow.
small channel. He does a lot of gematria stuff, but his work is off the charts. It really is. I'm so impressed with what he's putting out. I said, bro, you got to come on. You got to come on with me and Annie. Yeah, Kim is, she's had to go across to the mainland. She lives on an island in South Australia. She's had to go over to the mainland to do some readings, same as what you got to do tomorrow. Harry's just finished moving. He's got no Wi-Fi until tomorrow, so he's not able to join us today.
And I have very little to
So
present again because I've been trying to sell my house. And I've got to find a place to live now, and I'm just in a crazy mess. So I haven't been presenting a whole lot lately, but I will get back on track in time. So I'm glad you're filling in
yeah,
you're
well, look,
filling
I've got some mind blowing, and I'm sorry to do this to you guys. I've got some mind blowing stuff to present, but I need Harry because there's a lot of Greek. Well, not a lot of Greek, but there's some Greek in there, and I need him to clarify the Greek. So I'm not going to present that today. I'll probably do that in a couple of days with Harry when he's got his Wi-Fi sorted. So it won't be long. But this is absolutely mind blowing what I've discovered. So
Do you want me to just start talking about some stuff? Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, 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 yeah.
I was just thinking about, so in this country, they're trying to, I got to be careful what I say. They're trying to take all our uh firearms.
Yeah.
And everybody's worried, oh, they're going to come to my door, I'm going to shoot and this and that. And I really just don't think they're going to do that, or they have to do that. They usually do everything by two methods. They pass a law, so then everybody's afraid of breaking that law, so they'll acquiesce, and then you have permission, or they do the propaganda thing, and then they get the other citizens to go against, you go against each other. So that's how they
Mm.
get their agenda done. So then they don't have to be bothered or blamed, and they can remain in their positions doing whatever for these factions, these alien factions working through them. But so it's like through fear and all this other stuff. So they'll use us against each other. So if you remember back to like the middle of last year or the fall, I'm not sure when, but we were all freaking out everywhere because we thought they were going to pass these mandates and we weren't going to be able to go anywhere, like even to the grocery store or anything. And in some countries you couldn't, if you left your house, they would make you get this. So I know a lot of people on the channel, we were in a lot of fear about the mandates, and it seemed like they were going to become a thing everywhere. We were going to be forced to choose between getting this or death if they show up at your door. But again, I don't think they don't think they have to show up at the door. They have all their other methods, so it's easy for them. Um, so they don't have to do these home invasions, although there were some happening. But I had predicted then that the mandates I probably shouldn't have said that word, sorry, would start to fall off by the end of 2021. And then in January, you were going to see them fall off in different countries. Like there was a couple countries maybe that would start, and then in January is going to go like dominoes. And that's what we've seen. It's like disappeared now. And we forgot how worried we were. So, but I'm wondering, are they saving that again for the monkey? I don't want to, I'm trying to avoid my words here. So, but anyway, they convince enough people, like with these things, the muzzles and these and the lockups. So they didn't want to die because they were listening to the news. They didn't want to die, so they went and got this of the COVID. So it's like all the propaganda is how they get everything done, or a law, because they have to have our permission. So a great way to get permissions through either fear or fear of breaking the law.
Yeah, it's called coercion. It's called coercion, which is illegal because,
Yes.
you know, it's actually blackmail. You know, people say, oh, it's not, it's coercion. No, it's blackmail. Blackmail is illegal.
Yeah, and
If
they
you
it's
don't,
like the Nazi thing, but
yeah,
they don't have to come after us and make sure we all get this, because they know they've already got it covered. The nanos jumping on us, the tests have it in there. So they've kind of just got it covered. And then if
well,
you don't go
it's
get those things, you get publicly shamed because of
yeah.
all the propaganda. So that's how they're getting their job done. And so with this new issue, the swarms or the NPCs, they're going to get turned on. So they're having all these portals open in their energy from video games, from TV, movies. But I mean, we're getting portals open everywhere all the time around us. It's like ridiculous from everything. And they're flicking these NPCs on, turning their switch on, and then we're having all these mass shootings here now. And our mass shooting like graph has gone like this. So this year it's going off the charts. So they're just going to keep doing that and demonizing these things. They've had Trudeau in Canada taking action now against these things.
Yeah, but did you see
And
what did you see what happened? As soon as he announced it, everybody went out and bought a gun. Apparently, they're calling him the best gun salesman in the history of the world. Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping. But you know what? I'm seeing all this stuff. Of course, I'm in the author world. So oh my God, these authors, like 90% of them or higher are liberal, just posting about all this stuff, totally clueless, like CNN watchers, because they're just spitting out propaganda. And it's like, I get so tired of it. And I feel like, oh my God, nobody's getting this. So
Mm.
hopefully there are a lot of people that went and did that. The truthers, we're always preaching to the choir, right? Because it's,
Well, yeah.
but so these people still haven't woke up, the propaganda brainwashed.
Well, look,
But anyway,
let me give you a little bit of good news. You know, we often sit here and we question our motives with respect to preaching to the choir, right? We come out and we do these videos on all our various channels. Are we preaching to the choir? I had a comment on our last video from a lady. Well, it was the one that I did with Kim when I did the birthday thing for Kim, and she made a comment and she said, "Look, I'm just kind of waking up to all this stuff now." And she said, "You know, you've researched this and you kind of know what you're talking about, but could you slow down a little bit with, you know, when you're delivering these presentations?" Um, and I kind of replied to her and said, "Yeah, sure, I'll you know, I'll do my best." But again, we're not preaching to the choir. We might be preaching to 90% of our viewers and listeners might be part of the choir, but you know, there is a smaller or a small percentage of people who are coming around to all this. And as I said to
listening.
you, yeah, as I said to you before we started recording, we've got Jason Brashears from the Archaics channel coming on with us next weekend. And if you know, this guy's blowing up YouTube, absolutely blowing up YouTube. He's being interviewed on so many channels. Hey, here's Dylan. He's
Hi,
being
Dylan.
interviewed.
We're already recording. Warning, warning.
he's being interviewed on so many channels. It's almost like a full-time job for this guy.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. How are you?
Good. How about y'all?
Yeah, good. Glad you could join us, mate. Glad you could join us.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We're not going to be going on for too long, because Annie's got some stuff to do and she's up early tomorrow. So have you got anything that you want to share with us, bro?
Yeah, sure. Let me just pull it up real quick.
So I was looking at your channel. I watched 2 of your videos, one on the society, and I'm not going to say the whole term. This is going up on Devil's Playground, but my channel's getting constantly targeted and flagged. So I don't want to say the whole thing, but it's the other 2 words are of, and then the last word is Jesus. So I'm separating it out. So 3 words, first word society. And I talked about those. It was in a secret truth meter, though. It wasn't on the on YouTube. And they're the ones that are disseminating all the information to all the churches. Doesn't matter what religion you are, if you're a pastor, minister, priest, Buddhist, whatever, they're giving them all what needs to be said and taught and all that. So I thought that was really interesting that you brought that up, among other things. But a lot of the I don't want to say a lot, but there's some Christian truthers that are all up in arms because the some of the churches are teaching, go get your this thing, and they're teaching the agenda, and it's like, well, that's coming from that society of, okay. And the other video you did was about a phoenix, and I'm like, being the US bald eagle. And I thought that was super interesting because I've been talking a lot about the phoenix and it giving birth to the egg, and then it's getting birthed out of the egg, and it's all these factions, it's these bloodlines, these Egyptian bloodlines that are like Keanu Reeves, like we see him in these old pictures. And what is this old picture from 100 years ago? It looks just like him. It's the same people that keep coming back into a new body, and that's that phoenix getting born. It's the whole Phoenix Society that owns the country. So I thought that was super interesting. You were bringing that up.
Well, Jason on Archaics talks a lot about Phoenix. That's his little baby. So it'll be interesting.
I don't ever watch anything except for I'll watch your videos, Nigel, and I watched a few years. I don't have time. So I just thought those were super interesting. So if you haven't been to his channel, check it out. It's the same name you're seeing on the screen there.
Yeah, I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the show notes. Look, let me tell you something. This is absolutely crazy. There was a video that came up on my feed on BitChute yesterday, and it was talking about the Satan. Satan is not what you think he is, right? And you've got this guy who clearly knows the Bible inside out, right? And he was giving a speech. Now, how do I know that? Well, because I'm in China, I need a VPN, right? And my VPN was going through the UK. And when I clicked on this video, it said, this video is banned in your country due to hate speech. I'm like, what? So I changed and went through Taiwan, and I was able to watch the video. And this guy was just literally disseminating the Bible. You know, he was talking all about all these biblical passages and what this really means and what that really means and so on and so forth. So how on earth could that be considered hate speech? Well, this is how bad things are getting. You know, you're very quiet, Dylan.
I know, it's because we're talking, we were already like mid discussion. Sorry about that. Do you need me to make you host so you can share? Sorry, I think he's muted.
He's back.
Sorry, I just got a phone call.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
He's I think Dylan's pretty new to Zoom, aren't you, bro?
I am, yeah.
You should. If
okay, I'm making you host, so then you should have a share button if you want to share something.
Yeah.
Um,
Just open whatever it is you want to
We'll
share with
see.
us.
We'll see. I'm on my phone, so I'd have to.
Oh, okay.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
No, I mean, okay. Well, I can just talk. I mean, it's pretty easy to follow what I was gonna present.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Next time I'll have it set up. I was under the impression we were doing this tomorrow, but
Oh, look,
We
mate.
were,
We
okay,
were.
okay.
we were.
I didn't know if it was me or what, but yeah, I wasn't prepared. I mean, it's fine because, like I said, this
I'm
is
not
easy to
prepared
follow.
either, so I screwed everybody up because I have to go out of
Oh,
town.
it's fine. I'm good. Yeah, but
So yeah, just whatever you want to talk about, that'd be great.
all right. Well, I thought this was interesting. This decode that I did and all these connections I found. How we were talking about the Phoenix.
Mhm.
And Joaquin Phoenix, the actor who played Jesus in the Mary Magdalene movie, and
Mm.
the sun, how this connects to the sun, Phoenix, a firebird, sun, ball of fire, and the Society of the Sun, which is the Jesuits, or Society of Jesus, Jesus, the embodiment of.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. You probably shouldn't be saying some of that, but go ahead.
I mean, they
If they
don't.
start targeting, if you
Okay,
start targeting
okay.
your channel, you'll start to
They,
get
they,
targeted or whatever.
well,
But go ahead.
okay.
I don't care. It's
Um,
going on Devil's Playground channel. I'm just
would you just
kidding.
rather me say Jesuits or just
No.
like
Well,
the Jays?
the Jays. Yeah.
Okay,
Just say
the
the Jays.
Jays. All right. Um, so Joaquin Phoenix, like I said, played Jesus in this movie, and why he was picked for this, not only because his last name, how it connects, but the fact that his birthday is 74 days before the birthday of the Society of, yeah.
Wow.
And 74, we know this connects to Jesus, cross, gospel, parables, Messiah, and Jesus Christ. And that's just to name a few. I mean, I could go on and on.
Government authority. The fact that you have the July the 4th, 7-4.
Oh, yeah. If you want to get into
You know.
reflection numbers and how he's called the shepherd in the Bible, and shepherd, it's like symbolizes government, and the sheep symbolize us, the masses. Yeah. All
Yeah, you
that.
got it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot you could elaborate on with that. And on top of all that, this movie came out on the 74th day of the year in 4 countries. And these 4 countries were Austria, Brazil, Germany, and Italy. Of course, Italy, Rome, right?
Yep.
Which I'll talk about more in a minute. And Roman also equals 74.
The Roman. It's all to do
Yep.
with maritime law. Yeah.
Yep. And let's see here. And then I don't think this is a coincidence that 74 days translates to 1,776 hours, like 1776, the year the United States was, yeah, exactly, was
Listen,
established or became
this
independent, and the Illuminati,
right. Well, look,
Um,
it's a play on words, and people get
yeah,
really pissed at me when I say this. It's not a declaration of independence. It's a declaration of being
yeah,
independence of the UK. The
yeah. Well, yeah,
1776,
yeah,
1776 is all bullshit.
yeah. You're
Well,
right.
I'm going to show this in my next presentation. Because just to give you an idea of where I'm going with this, in what we know as 1666 was the quote unquote Great Fire of London,
Oh yeah.
which started at a bakery in Pudding Lane. I mean, anybody believes that shit, then they're
Oh yeah.
yeah. Well, if we remove the added 1,000 years, we get 666. And that is also the year that the SESQV Trust was introduced, which was basically the start of the beast system. Okay, this is why we've been told that 666 is the mark of the beast. It's not. But then, you know, it's interesting that 110 years later, of course, the magic 11, takes us to what we know as 1776 and the formation, if you like, of the United States. It's all bullshit. The whole fucking narrative is complete and utter bullshit, and I'm going to prove it.
Yep, you're right.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt, bro. I just
No,
wanted
it's
to get
fine.
that in there.
I never thought about that. What you just said, how you just broke down independence, like independence of
Well, if you have you got a $1 note handy?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a
No.
spoiler alert.
I don't have $1 to my name.
Oh. If you look at the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill, you've got the Roman letters M, D, L, C, C, X, X, V, I, right? There are 9 of them, 9 letters. Well, if you remove the C, because you've got 2 C's and 2 X's, right? If you just count the value of each number, of each letter, right, independently, and don't double any of them up, you get to 1666. When you add the extra C and the extra X, you get 1776. And that is why on the back of the dollar bill, you have the MDLCC XXVI.
All right, I was going to pull up a dollar bill, but I made Dylan host, and there's no more reclaim host button anymore.
Oh, really?
It's gone.
Oh, wow.
They've changed it again. So
changed it again. Okay. Well, what you got to do then, Dylan, is click on participants, and when you see Anmarie, just go to more and make host.
Well, he's on his phone. It might be a pain.
On his phone, yeah.
It's all right. I don't have to share it.
But yeah, I mean, most people are aware. They can pull it up on the screen if they want to. But yeah, if you just add up the value of the letters without doubling up the C or doubling up the X.
All right, I made you host again.
What you get is 1666.
Wow, I did not know that.
A lot of people don't know that. Oh, mate, and there's a lot more where that's come from. You wait till oh boy, I've got a whole presentation on this. It's going to blow people's minds. It blew my mind, and that takes some doing, to be honest with you. Not being cocky. Yeah, you want the pyramid, Annie?
I don't know what I just did.
You want the pyramid? Oh yeah. Can you blow up the pyramid?
Yeah, I don't have my mouse, but I don't have anything right now. I'm in.
Well, the
I'm in boxes. Some of it.
The annuit copters at the top actually means the great work. That's what it is, the great work. And Novus Ordo Seclorum means new order of the world. So that is the great work, is the new order of the world. And as you can see, very, very faintly at the bottom, you've got MDCCLXXVI. Yeah, on the bottom row of the pyramid. The all-seeing eye basically is the sun, as you can clearly see. But there's a lot more to this than people realize as to what the 13 rows of bricks actually mean.
Oh yeah.
It's all to do with compliance. If you think about a brick, if you got some clay and made a brick, it will be malleable. Put it out in the sun for a few hours and it becomes hard. You can't do anything with it. Well, who are the people that we know we can't do anything with? We can't reach. They represent the bricks. And there's more and more people, quote unquote, awake, then those rows of bricks are getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. But the lower they go, the more people we have to reach, because obviously there's more bricks per layer as you actually go down the pyramid. So that's essentially what it's all about. But you know, I've just scratched the surface with what I've just shown you, with what I just told you. There's so much to this, it's crazy. So anyway, sorry, Dylan, I didn't to interrupt. Sometimes I do that when otherwise I forget what I'm going to say. You know, we're getting old. We're getting old, people like me and Annie and Kim.
No,
Aren't
it's
we,
okay.
Granny? Okay, so please continue, mate.
All right. And, you know, we know Independence Day is on 7/4, and Independence Day equals 74 in the full reduction cipher.
Yeah.
And it's no coincidence, you know, we've been engineered to be the most Christian English speaking nation, or the US, and English equals 74.
Yeah.
And like I said, we could go on with the 74s. But you know, you see how this is all engineered.
Yeah.
The Phoenix, like I just said, think about the Phoenix, and uh, you know, Firebird, sun, ball of fire, Jesus personification of the sun.
The Son of God.
Uh,
When you think
yeah,
about it, I mean, who would own the sun? Let's think about it for a minute. Who would own the sun? If anybody owned the sun, it would be quote unquote God, right?
yeah,
So Jesus being the Son of God or God's Son is directly related to sun worship, which is what which is what they do. That's what it's all about.
yeah, and think
What they
about
worship.
the Phoenix, Jesus, and the sun, because they have all resurrected, right? So we know Jesus, he resurrected. We know that, that's common knowledge. The Phoenix, some might not know, but the Phoenix, when it dies, it rises from its own ash and just repeats that cycle. And the sun, you could say, resurrects because it sets and it rises. It sets and it rises.
Well, you know, I've been looking a little bit more at language, and there's one thing that you might find interesting is that whereas we have our days of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's interesting that we all consider Monday to be the first day of the week, and it's not. It's Sunday is the first day of the week.
Yeah.
Saturday is the seventh day of the week. But here in China, they don't have words for days of the week like we do, right? It's really, really strange. The word week in Chinese
Yeah.
is xingqi. So Monday becomes xingqi yi. Yi is one. Tuesday xingqi er, two. San is three. Wednesday xingqi san. All the way through to Saturday xingqi liu, six. And then Sunday is xingqi re. Re means sun. Re means hot and re means sun. So the only day of the week that they actually have a name for is Sunday. All the others are just numbers, right? But it's interesting that if you break down the two words, xing qi, xing means star or heavenly body, and qi means time. Time. So you have literally xing qi yi, which we would call Monday, breaks down to star or heavenly body, time, one. And then Tuesday would be star, heavenly body, time, two. All the way through to Sunday, star or heavenly body, time of the sun.
Gotcha.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Yeah, amazing. What some of these translations are when you sort of break them down, and not a lot of people are into that, but I know a lot of our subs like it when we break down some of the language and some of the words. Very, very interesting. But yeah, it's all about the sun, all about the heavens, all about the stars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much all these secret societies and ancient cultures and civilizations, they regard the sun as the ultimate deity.
Well, the sun, if you think about it, if we had no sun, there'd be no life.
Well, exactly, and that's why they call it.
Everything would die.
Yeah, that's why they call Jesus the Savior, because he's a
Yeah.
personification of the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You got it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is why Joaquin Phoenix played Jesus in this movie. And the
Now
phrase,
that's another odd one. If you look at how you spell Joaquin, it's if you wrote it down, it looks like Joachim. Joachin.
There is
But it's
something funny about that. Yeah.
pronounced Joaquin. I mean, what the? Why would you spell Joaquin Joachin? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it related to the two towers, the Boaz and
You know what?
Jachin?
That's a good point. Yeah,
I
that's a
think so.
good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Probably.
Everything's connected.
Oh
Everything's
yeah.
connected, but we just don't see the connections. I was listening to Garrow on Jurassic Liars 26 yesterday. He's been predicting something's going to happen in Seattle for the last 5 years, and the connections that he's made to show or demonstrate that this event is likely to happen tomorrow, June the 11th. The connections are just, it goes so deep, so deep. And then I've heard yesterday that there's some march for our lives it's going on tomorrow all over the US. 3 beaches in Seattle have been shut down because they've got no lifeguards, and they're planning an exercise in the Pacific Northwest, the Cascadia subduction zone, which just happens to be right where Seattle is. So it's going to be interesting to see what, if anything. Look, you know, I mean, I've said this before, and you have too, Annie, that sometimes, you know, if enough people become aware of something that might happen, it doesn't happen. And is that because we've changed the outcome because we put all the information out there? We'll never know. We'll never know.
I think
But you
so.
see, you know, we
don't
make
give our
these.
permission. They need our permission for
Yeah.
everything. And if you find out and you say no way, it doesn't
Yeah, I mean,
happen.
a lot of us were predicting that the Queen's death was going to be announced on May the 20th, and it didn't happen. And yet we had so much evidence to point towards that date, and it didn't happen. I mean, personally, I think she's gone anyway. I think she's been gone a long time, and we just thought it would be announced on that day, but it wasn't.
You know, something interesting, of course, this is somebody on my channel, and I don't want to say too much, but this person hopefully is going to come on my channel at the end of the month, but was going in to do some work on that Jubilee, like some astral work or whatever to shut it down. And I was seeing it connected to like the Red Queen, like, or I don't know if it's the Red Queen or what computer, but I was seeing that whole Jubilee is for the main computer. It's tied into all that or something. But
well,
anyway,
there was 2 things that I noticed. One, when she used that orb to light up those DNA strands, they changed color. They went from purple to white, so they actually changed color, changed the DNA, and then lit up the so-called tree of life or whatever it was. But there was a flatbed truck that people were dancing on, right, driving down the street, and on the side of the truck there was 2 of the black sun as logo, the black sun symbolism. Yeah, there were two of them on the side of the truck. I mean, why the black sun logo? Clearly a ritual. But getting back to what I was saying, we a lot of us were predicting that. Adam on the Illusion channel had done heaps and heaps of videos, and you couldn't argue with his with the stuff that he was presenting, and of course it didn't happen. So if what Garrow's been shouting about for the last 5 years doesn't happen tomorrow, then it's, well, clearly no, it could be because too many people have become aware of it, and it just,
I think that happens sometimes. Like people become too aware. Like there's connections that line up, and people become too aware of it, and they just kind of like, we got to pull back on this one. So I do think that happens.
I totally agree. And like Annie says, they need our consent. They if you look at, I think it's Mark chapter 9 verse 40, I think, from memory, and every translation of the Bible in that verse, it says, if you are not against us, then you are for us.
Exactly.
So in other words,
if you're ignorant, then that's a yes.
yeah, if you don't, this is why there's so much predictive programming. You know, people go, oh, it's just a movie, it's just a movie.
Oh my God, man.
They're telling us what they're going to do, and we just laugh it off. And then when they do it, they say, well, we told you. Yeah. So if we don't say no, they consider us to be in agreement with whatever it is they want to do. And it's right there in the Bible as well. You know, I mean, the Bible is just a playbook. It's just a script. That's why it's called the scriptures.
It's called scripture for a reason. Script.
Your script. Your script. Script your scripture.
Oh, speaking of script, I can comment on that, but keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just
no,
I'm having thoughts, and then I'm getting mind wiped, and then you said script, and I was like, it just reminded me of something else that's connected to manifesting, and like why people have so much trouble manifesting, or they use these affirmations and they got to repeat them 8 million times. I was watching this video because see, I think we're on a script. It's multiple choice, so you get to choose the video game you choose. But I was watching this video where they said the Matrix is constantly doing a error correct to keep us on the script.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we get in these loops, or we can't manifest what we want, because here's your script and I'm trying to manifest something that's like off the script. So, error correct, get you back on the script. And so I'm wondering if that's why not only we get stuck in loops where we keep trying to create something and they keep playing us out on the same thing, but also we get prevented from like getting downloads from our soul. I don't like downloads like the way New Agers use that with I was talking to the blue avians and they gave me a download. I can't stand that stuff. But a download is like your soul, your unconscious, the soul hypnotizes finally reaching you and getting some information through. But it's like so we're not getting those downloads because they're constantly error correcting us and mind wiping us. So every time we start to remember it, error corrects, and then we get mind wiped and we're like, wait, what were we thinking? What was I doing? Or with, and I'm wondering if that's part of like with you with the milk, getting the milk out of the fridge and having that memory, and then you were going off script and now you're back on script and it's like the milk's still in the fridge. I don't know. But it was just something I was thinking about, like that could be what's going on.
Yeah, somebody made a comment on the video because you know, I last time we were together, I kind of said that, you know, I was surprised that nobody had commented on that with a similar experience. And then I had a couple of comments where, yeah, I mean, there was one particular comment that was interesting. She said, we keep our passports in our sock drawer, or in the sock drawer. And they went to get the passports and they weren't there. I'm like, where the fuck are they? You know, they live in the sock drawer. And she said, we turned the bedroom inside out, upside down, looking for these passports. And we're like, what the fuck? And we're like, what are we going to do now? And somebody went to the sock drawer, opened the sock drawer, and went, here they are. What's your problem? You know, and yet they weren't there.
I've had that happen, but I've had the milk thing happen. I mean, literally, where I went and put the check in the mail and whatever, and then it's like, or no, I got it out of the mail, opened it, and I was like, oh, there's my check. I saw the amount. And then I got asked like the next day, did you get that check? Yeah, I got the check. And they're like, no, I just mailed it. You didn't get the check. And it was like, whoa. It was messed up. So, and I was 100% positive that I went and got that check out of the mailbox. But so I've totally had that happen. That was the most intense one. Like it was just as if I just said to you, hi, Nigel, like right now. And then in 30 seconds, you told me you never said hi, Nigel. And I'd be like, no, I know I said it. I just said it. So it was that real. But
well, I had my my experience. My granddaughter had experience at the same time, and one of my students was telling me about that he'd had exactly the same experience. So this is not as uncommon as we think, you know. And people just put it down to bad memories. Same as the Mandela effect. No, you're remembering it wrong. The Monopoly man's never had a monocle. Bullshit. You know, so
no, people are having this all the time. I get them in readings and stuff. But but anyway, that manifesting thing, like you try to, if it's in your script and I'm trying to manifest $1 million and it's in your script at that time on the timeline, yeah, you can win the lottery or whatever. But that's why when you say, like I always tell my listeners, everything's working in my favor.
Yeah.
No matter what the situation's appearing to be, you say, no, everything's working in my favor, and it will change before your eyes. So it's almost like you're on the script, you're still on their script, and you've just commanded it to give you the best possible outcome. Everything's working
Yeah.
in my favor. So which of these multiple choice options is the best one? And when you say that, you get forced into that. It's like the crossroads. Every decision you got to make, they give you A, B, C, D, E. And if I say everything's working in my favor, I'm going to get the best of the choices. And it works. But that's why that manifesting's so hard, because you say, well, I'm trying to manifest this. Why is it not working? And you're just getting what's on the script. And if it's not on the script,
Yeah.
they flip you back onto the script.
Yeah.
So
Well,
anyway, I just thought
Jake,
that was interesting. Then error correct, just like a computer, error correct.
Yeah.
You type into Google and you type the word wrong, it automatically corrects it and it does the search for you. We're searching for, did you mean this?
Yeah.
Like, or the autocorrect on your phone. So same thing. It's like autocorrect, you're off script, you're back on the script. So I think that can explain a
Happens.
lot of what's going on, but
Happens all the time. Jason from Archaics, he goes into that in quite a deep way about the Logan too, about the script. And we live, not only are we living in a script, but our individual lives are scripted as well. The notion of free will is pretty much limited. I mean, if I want to go and make a cup of coffee right now, I've got the free will to go and make a cup of coffee right now. But why am I in China? Why do I live in China? You know what I mean? And I can actually go back and tell you, it'd be a bit of a boring story for our listeners, so I won't do it on. I won't record it, but it's an interesting story as to how I actually ended up in China, and this is why I now know that wherever we are is where we're supposed to be.
yeah,
So
I
what
think go ahead.
I'm going to say, what else you got, Dylan?
Yeah,
Well, I
Dylan,
guess
doing all the talking.
provide my own story. I had this job a while ago, and it was sometime probably beginning of last year or so, like beginning of 2021, sometime around there. And I just looked at there. So it was my manager and this coworker or whatever in this doorway, and it was so odd. But I just knew that I remembered, and it was it was like not. It's like a scene that didn't stand out, but it did. Like a scene you wouldn't think would stand out, but it did, because I remember that I saw it in a dream.
Oh,
So
wow.
so what that told me, and it's like time just seemed to slow when I was seeing that in real time, not the dream.
Wow.
But I remembered in that, like when time's slowing and stuff, I remembered I saw this somewhere, and then I quickly realized, oh, I dreamed about this very moment. It's like I just got so locked into the moment, and that just proved to me I'm right where I need to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
It's crazy.
I think all of us who are, I hate to use the word awake, are where we're supposed to be. I mean, when I lived in Australia, I back in 2008, I started a business where I was sourcing materials from China for clients. I had another business where we were importing. We used to do glass pool fencing. And I started importing it from China, and then I found that more and more people were asking me, hey, can you get me this? Can you get me that? Can you get me the other? So in 2008, I started another company, like a sideline company, which was basically sourcing products from China. tiles, wall tile showers, windows for building companies, all kinds of stuff, you know. And every time I came to China, which by 2012 was every month, once a month, I go to all these various factories and have a look at what they were doing and pick up samples and so on and so forth. And the amount of people that used to say to me, you should come to China and teach English. I'm like, why? You know, I've got 2 fucking businesses back home. Why would I want to come to China and teach English? But so many people over the years, I'm like, God, is this a broken fucking record or what? And then when my marriage broke up in 2013 and I basically lost everything, I thought, what am I going to do now? I know. Why don't I go to China and teach English? Because all these seeds had been sown during the last sort of 6 or 7 years. Every time I came to China, why don't you come to China and teach English? So when my life got turned upside down and everything went pear-shaped, right, well, now what am I going to do? I know. So I got the various qualifications that were needed, and in 2014, I've been here ever since. So the seeds were sown. The idea was planted to make me think that it was my idea to come to China and teach English. And it was not my idea. It's part of my script.
Yeah, and you probably had like different choices on that script, but they were influencing you onto the one they wanted you on. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
so you have to just be aware of it and just say, oh no, this is what I want, and you
Well,
really have to push it.
I think once you become aware of it, you can what's the way, you can kind of hone in on it. You can connect with it because you're aware of it now. So it's much easier to connect with your script just by virtue of the fact that you know you've got one. You know what I mean? Because most people have got no idea that their lives are scripted. And once you become aware, and the easiest thing to do is just look back across your life and look at all the major turning points, all the major things that have happened. You know, when you got married to this person, where would you be now if you hadn't got married to that person? Even if you're not married to that person anymore, where were you? Where were you when you had your first child? What would have happened if you that hadn't happened and you didn't have a child at that particular time? Where would you be now? You know, we have all these turning points, all these T-junctions. You know, oh, let's turn left. Well, if you turn left, you're not going to know what would happen if you turn right, and if you turn right, you're not going to know what would have happened if you turn left. So, you know, I think this is where the so-called guardian angel kind of thing comes in, because we're kind of being steered. Well, not so much being pushed, but I think we're being steered in certain directions as we go through life, you know.
Well, I was just watching another video somebody put on Telegram. It was a short one just about fourth dimension being the Metatron's cube and the tesseract. So that to me, because when I read on it, I think we're in fourth dimension. So that made sense to me, but that's like all these timelines with like you're talking about, and it's just the mirrored reality, all the mirrors or the fractals or the and so we're in all of them doing all those choices, but which one is our consciousness going to be in? We might possibly be jumping around, but it's just changes. Everything's just changes in perception anyway in a
Right.
mind
Well,
world,
you just mentioned the tesseract, right? Now we know that everything in this realm is about an act, right? We have an act of parliament, right? You perform actions, right? Everything's about. We have the theatre of war and all this acting. Look at the word tesseract. Remove one of the s's and split it. You've got act at the end, and what you're left with is an anagram of reset. Yeah, an anagram of the act of a reset or reset act.
Oh,
okay.
Keeps on resetting. The phoenix is going to give birth to the egg, and they're all going to be born again, and Oh God. Anyway, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
go soon, but Dylan, do you
Okay.
have any other topics you want to bring up?
No, not if you gotta go soon.
No, well, let's, if
Oh,
you've
well, you
got
say it like
something,
that. I gotta get off of here, but um,
look, if you got something else to show us or
you,
to present, Dylan, then please do, and then
Well,
you can finish us off.
all right. Well, I guess I'll just continue with the 74s real quick, just connecting the Phoenix to what I was saying. Uh, again, the nation gained independence on 7/4, and Phoenix was originally on the U.S. Great Seal, as I showed in my video.
Yeah.
And the phrase rise from the ash equals 74. The phrase rise of the phoenix equals 74. And the phrase order of the phoenix equals 74.
Wow.
oh wow.
Wow.
And I've just heard the phrase order of the phoenix mentioned, I think by Manly P. Hall. Don't quote me on that. But I don't think that, nonetheless, I don't think that's a coincidence that it equates to 74.
No.
Uh,
No, not
That's
at all.
wild.
Look,
also,
there's no such thing as coincidence. We know that.
yeah. But and to continue, Joaquin Phoenix's birthday is a span of 32 days after the Jays order's birthday.
Hmm.
Christ equals 32, biblical equals 32, and the Jays have 32 sun rays on their logo.
Got
And
black
Mainly
coming
just
in.
the society of
Yeah.
Jay. That I
okay,
don't know if we should be talking about that society, but that's okay. But keep going. We keep interrupting you. I didn't realize you weren't done.
okay, and this movie. So the 4 countries I mentioned earlier, it released in those 4 countries on the 74th day. And
Hmm.
from that date, this movie released 33 days before Rooney Mara's birthday, who is the actress that played Mary Magdalene. And
Wow.
33 connecting to Joaquin, the name Joaquin, who played Jesus. Jesus died at the age of 33. Mara, her last name equals 33. Bible equals 33. Sunday 33. Sun, Jesus, embodiment of the sun. Worship mostly on Sunday. And Jehovah equals 33. Another name for God. I think Hebrew. And the last name of the actress who played Mary Magdalene, Mara, like I said, it's actually, that name is a form of the name Mary. And this word can be found in the Bible, I think only one time. But yeah, so
Wow. Wow. All this,
Yeah, it's
the
just all
last,
scripted out.
yeah,
Just a
the last,
computer program running is all it is. And
yeah,
these are these robots getting born through the Phoenix egg again and again and again. It's the same thing.
the,
Same players, same people.
the last video that I did was with Kim, talking about the 33
oh
being
yeah.
not what people think it is. But the one of the things that Jason on Archaics talks about a lot is the calendar, right? The various calendars. And if you think about the Gregorian one, the one that we use, we have BC, before Christ, and then we have AD, after death. Well, if Christ died at 33, why does the calendar go from 1 BC to 1 AD? So you've got before Christ, and then the next year is after death. Well, if this dude lived for 33 years, there should be 33 years in between BC and AD, and there isn't. You know what I mean? There should be a span of 33 years during
Yeah.
which the biblical Christ lived, and of course
For it to be after
it's all made
Christ,
up.
right?
Yeah, so you'd have the before, and then you'd have 33 years of his quote unquote life, and then he died, and then you would begin again with the AD. Yeah, and we don't have that on the calendar. I mean, we got no idea where we are. I mean, I got a lovely girl in our Telegram group, and she lives in India. and they use the Gregorian calendar, but over there it's 2170 or something fucking stupid, or 2070 or whatever. It's miles off. And then the other parts of the world where 2020 was actually their 2012 or 2014, or it's all messed up. We got no idea, really. We've got no idea where we are. It's like time. The calendar is
It
just
doesn't matter. We're just in a freaking matrix. It doesn't matter where we are.
I mean, the calendar and the clock, they're just for convenience.
Illusion.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all an illusion. Yeah, they're just for convenience.
Well, we gotta wrap up.
Arrange.
I gotta wrap us up. But
all right,
Nigel, you're gonna have Harry on and drop your bombshells soon.
Yeah.
Dylan, I don't know if you want to come back on with us again. This one's been like a mess.
Oh, it's all right.
We were totally, I got ready in 2 minutes because I didn't know we were coming on. But normally we're a little more organized.
We are.
But I appreciate all the great information. And I was saying at the beginning, I think before you got on here, for everybody to go to your channel, subscribe, and like and hit the notifications, and please come to my channel. I don't know what it is, Anmarie Eber, or it's Truth Meter. It used to be Truth Meter.
Anmarie
to my channel. I know, I think these people that manage my channel changed it. Just come to my channel, like, subscribe, please. I'm putting out these readings that people are getting on me about. Oh, I don't like these readings and blah blah blah. You shouldn't be doing this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, all I've got's intuition. What else have we got? We got nothing else.
Yeah.
So but anyway, they're fun. And if you don't want to watch them, just at least click on it so I get a view, because Nigel, you're starting to notice that your numbers are getting screwed with now.
Oh good.
Like mine have been since God knows when. I've just quit paying attention, and our comments getting deleted. I have a lot of I got a lot of flagging going on, even on one of those those fluff reading ones. I got a flag as I was trying to put it up. So
well, I
got an algorithm on me, and they're just they're gonna shut me down like they did a friend of mine that's had a small channel. So
look, at the end of the day, I wanted to get Dylan on. He's fairly new. He's got a very, very small channel. I think his work is absolutely off the charts. I think it's absolutely awesome. So I wanted to basically introduce our subs to his channel and see if we
appreciate that.
We can get him.
I was gonna say, I don't know, Dylan, if you want people to come over there. I used to be like this for a while, like, no, I want to be incognito. I don't want anybody, but we have to, I think it's power in numbers. That's why Nigel and I and Harry started doing this, and Kim. There's power in numbers right now, I think, because there's a lot of energetic attacks going on with people that are putting truth out.
Yeah, and it's just about sharing the information and making people aware. I mean, Dylan,
and linking us all, linking us all together.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get people that are, when you just rattled up all those 74s, a lot of people are, well, yes, so what? What's people don't realize that numbers is a universal language.
Yes, right? Thank you. That is exactly right.
Yeah,
because we're in a computer of ones and zeros. That's all it is. We're in an AI program. It's all numbers.
We are. It's all pi. The operating system of this matrix or this simulation is pi.
Actually, we're in a quantum now, right? Where they don't use the ones and zeros anymore. But anyway, I don't know anything about computers.
Then we have phi 1.61, which is the Fibonacci sequence, which is the program of nature, life. And then we have the speed of light, which is the operating speed. Those three things are what are basically running this whole simulation. And we've shown it time and time again. Logan on Decode Your Reality has been showing this for years. And again, I highly, thoroughly recommend Decode Your Reality because there's so many answers. You know, you think, why is that happening to me, and why did that happen? Well, you'll find the answers once you have this understanding, you have this knowledge. There's, you know, we have a saying in China, or the Chinese have a saying: when you ask somebody why, hey, why? No, why? No, why? Right? It's their easiest cop out. But you know, you can understand the no why when once you understand the code, and you start to understand your own personal code, which is the most important thing that you could possibly do. I mean, as Logan says, if we're in a movie, why not be a star of the movie? Why settle for being an extra in the movie? You know, be a star
Yeah.
of your own movie. Be a star in your own movie, as opposed to being an extra in somebody else's movie. Makes perfect sense. You know, it really does.
Yeah.
Dylan, you got any final thoughts or any announcements or anything you want to tell anybody about what you've got coming up? Or
Yeah, there's gonna be at least, I would say, 3 or 4 decodes coming out Tuesday, when my channel is off its suspension. So yeah,
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
you
you're
got taken.
suspended already? Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, for a week I got my first strike, so yeah.
Yeah, if you just watch, it's a pain in the butt, but if you just watch certain things, then they don't catch it. But sometimes, I don't know. It's like I had a picture on Facebook and they read it on Facebook, like they didn't even have to hear the words. But usually if you just like talk around the words, you can stay up
Yeah.
pretty long. But
Yeah, yeah, and this is why on 90%, probably more, 95% of the podcast that we do, I always present something. I always make a PowerPoint presentation, and then, you know, if there are one or two ambiguous words, people can just read the screen rather than,
Yeah.
you know. So it's kind of one way
yeah,
of
that's true.
getting around it. Plus the fact people like visuals. I mean, sometimes, you know, I'm listening to you while I'm driving the car, so I can't watch. But you know, for the most part, people seem to like the visual presentations rather than just listening to us talking. But
I don't have
um
time for that half the
but yeah,
time.
yeah,
I did
I
have
know.
some stuff to pull up on the screen I totally forgot about, but that's all right. I'll save it.
Okay, we'll save it for next time. Save it for next time. All
Mm.
right, girl. Well, look,
One of these. Oh,
thanks for hosting us again. Good luck with the
yeah,
move.
sorry I screwed up the timing.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I forget to say that I'll be out of town this week. So if anybody on my channel are wanting a reading or something and you're not hearing from me, or patrons, I am out of town until Thursday night. So and it's something I have to go do. So
Will you have access to email while you're away?
yeah, I should have access, but I'm not gonna be alone, so I'll be available, but not really on top of stuff like I try to be. So
Hope you're not cheating on me.
maybe.
Oh no.
His name starts with an H.
Oh really?
I'm just
Really?
making stuff up. Here, I got a letter dice. Let's see. His name starts with a K. Anyway, Dylan, I don't know why, but Nigel keeps thinking he wants to propose to me. So
Oh.
anyway,
Yeah.
he knows
On
I'm opposed
online.
to marriage, but I'm not
Yeah.
opposed to marriage, just for myself. I don't.
No. What I wanted to do, and you know,
All
I'm
right,
sure we'll
no,
get
we're not
round
getting
to it.
into that. We are getting off of here.
All right. All right.
Clicking us off. Just
All
save
right.
that because I know what you're gonna say. All
Okay.
right, Dylan, thanks for coming on, and sorry you kind of jumped on in the middle of our thing, but
No, it's
No
all right.
worries.
Thank you for the opportunity.
super interesting content. So get over to his channel if you haven't been over there. And I'm just gonna click us off totally so this can process and I'll get it to you.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Bye
All
everybody.
right.
Thanks so much for watching.
Cheers, guys.
We will
Bye.
see you soon.
We will.